now is the painter.
You acknowledge that you were spray painting the fence.
Personally, I wasn't.
Part of a cover-up.
What were you doing there? Look at me. I'm not liking the smile.
This is Judge Judy. Brian Fraley and his cousin Rachel Watkins are suing Roberto Munoz for damaging their cars while he was painting a fence.
Judge's case number 149 on the calendar, the matter of Fraley Watkins versus Munoz. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. Sir, have a seat.
Thank you. Mr. Fraley,
Yes.
this is your cousin. Miss Watkins is your cousin?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you both have cars that were allegedly damaged by the defendant?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of car do you have, Mr. Fraley?
I have a 2018 Hyundai Sonata.
And Miss Watkins, what kind of car did you have?
2017 Honda CRV.
And both of your cars were parked in front of Mr. Fraley's house?
Correct.
Correct.
Do you also live there?
No, I do not.
But your car was there
Yes, I was visiting.
in July?
Yes.
It is your allegation that in July of 2020, the defendant, while spray painting a fence, a job that they were contractual, and got paint splatter on both of your cars.
Correct.
Correct.
That's your case.
Yes.
Then there's some nonsense about lost wages because you're an Uber driver and you couldn't drive the car because it had paint splashes on it. I'm not interested in that. When did you first notice that there was damage to your car, Mr. Fraley?
I noticed
What
that
month?
it was September.
Okay, so this happened in July. So you're talking about 3 months later.
Actually, August. It was actually August when I first contacted Mr. Munoz.
Okay, so that's within a month
Correct.
of the incident.
Yes.
When did you first notice that there was damage to the car?
In August, it was a couple weeks after they had painted. I went to get my car washed, and we had fires at that time. We had fires all around California, all around us. And so I thought it was ash and soot, so I went to the car wash, and it wasn't coming off. So I asked the detailer what he thought it was, and he said it looks like...
Don't tell you just Don't tell me what the detailer said.
Okay,
That's hearsay.
got it.
Now, Miss Watkins, when did you first notice there was damage to your car?
It was also in August. Again, I thought it was ash from all the fires and off, and then I remembered that there was the painting of the fence. So
Okay.
I just...
Now I'd like to see the damage that you are alleging caused, because, Mr. Munoz, you acknowledge that you were spray painting the fence across the street in July.
Personally, I wasn't.
Your company was.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. But actually, no, the customer actually paid the gentleman herself to redo it, Ryan.
What?
Yeah. I initially...
Well, then what are you doing there?
I have no idea. I guess I'm his only form of contact that he had regarding the paint, and he blamed me for it. I tried explaining
So
that I didn't
you
do it, but he didn't.
do the painting?
No, I
Just a
there was
second.
two times we painted it. The first time I painted it with a roller and brush. The second time was with the sprayer, and that was when he got contracted to do the job.
Just a second. Who paid him to do the job?
The customer, the owner of the house.
Not you.
No. I tried to explain that to him.
I'll get to that in a second. Okay. Mr. Fraley,
Yes.
Mr. Munoz, who you're suing, says that he didn't do the spray painting on the fence. Somebody else did. He has that person here to say that he's the one who spray painted the fence, that he didn't pay him as the general contractor, the owner of the house paid him, and that you're suing the wrong person.
It's nonsense, though.
You have a picture of me?
And they
framed?
were all
Just
out there.
Just a second. No, don't speak.
Sorry. Apologize.
So is what you're saying to me that you saw the defendant spray painting the fence? Is that
Correct.
what you're saying?
Yes, he and two other people.
Okay. Hold on. Mr. Munoz,
Yes, ma'am.
is it your statement that you personally, nor your company, had anything to do with spray painting this fence?
The second time the fence got painted, I assisted with helping him, sand down the previous paint. I did present myself before he started because I wanted to make sure that he went and knocked on every door to let them know that they were going to be painting, which he did. Also, he did.
No. What were you doing there?
Well, being that I built the fence from the ground up, it was still my baby. I wanted to make sure the customer was going to be happy regardless. I don't want nothing foul to go wrong. So I was here, make sure to oversee the job being done, even though I wasn't getting paid for it, but still. I
So
wanted it to
you
be
were
done
not.
right.
Just a second. Did you receive any compensation for spray painting the fence?
No.
Could you bring up your witness, please? Tell me your name.
Ryan Ramirez.
Mr. Ramirez, how much were you paid for spray painting the fence?
$1,300.
Did you have any assistance in spray painting the fence?
Yes, I did.
Who helped you?
My buddy Chris. Yes.
And were you paid the $1,300 by check or cash?
Cash.
From whom?
From Irma, I believe her name is.
Did you ever personally speak to Irma?
Yes.
On what date?
I couldn't recall the actual date.
Did you get the referral for the job from Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Have you done spray painting before?
Yes.
For other people or for Mr. Munoz?
For other people.
Do you have a company?
No.
So it's word of mouth you get the jobs.
Yeah.
Do you have your own spray painting equipment?
No.
Where do you get the spray painting equipment from?
I got that from...
No. Look at me. I'm not liking the smile. Where did you get the spray painting equipment from?
From Roberto.
From Mr. Munoz?
Yes.
Did you pay him for the spray painting equipment?
No, I did not.
Sit. Now you can sit. Now he's got the right defendant. He's got you. He's got you. Eventually you get it. Now all I have to do is see the pictures of the damage that you allege occurred.
Can I see those pictures also? I have yet to see them myself. He's yet to show me anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. Where is...
This is the front of the car,
Okay.
and I have more. That's the back
Now
of
is
the
that,
car.
that's two, those are two different... Of the same car?
Of the same car. This is the brake light.
That's the brake light.
This
Okay.
is the pictures
And
of the windows.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of a little hard to see because of the glare, but...
Okay.
There were
Now,
6 cars, wasn't there, Your Honor?
Can I see? Don't say anything.
Okay.
Please, don't say anything.
Sorry.
That's of the front window where the windshield wipers are.
Got it. Okay, next.
And this is a picture of the hood.
Okay, now can I see pictures of Miss Watkins' car? Yes.
That is my front light.
Got it.
This is my driver's side mirror.
Got it.
And these two are the hood of my car. There's a little glare on it, but those are the hood.
Got it. Now I see. It's clearly paint splatter. Would you take all those pictures and give them to Mr. Munoz, please?
Yes.
Now, do you have estimates for me to have both cars buffed out of that spray paint?
Yes, ma'am.
May I?
So they're not together.
Yes. I want to see them, sir.
It's Photoshop.
Okay. So the total cost for one car is $900.
Correct. And it's the same person who did the same. He's doing another estimate
Yeah.
for her. Same price.
Yes. Looks very, very reasonable.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
So when the dog walked in, he
Something
knocked
he knocked into it, and then the pole started teetering over, making a scraping sound as it was going down, and then the ringing when it hit the floor. He ran underneath the jet ski trailer, and when he came out wagging his tail,
There was only a piece of it left.
closed captioning is provided by Brian Fraley and his cousin Rachel Watkins claim Roberto Munoz damaged their cars with overspray while he was painting a fence.
Do you have estimates?
Yes.
May I see it?
They gave it to us separately, so they're not together.
Yes. I want to see them. Okay. So the total cost for one car is $900.
Correct. And it's the same person doing another estimate
Yeah.
for her. Same.
You got to be more careful, Mr. Munoz, with the people that you hire and the equipment that you let them use. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,800 that you split between two of you. We're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
It was the right decision. We actually saw him do it.
I think it wasn't a good decision at all.
My grandfather and I both saw him, all of them do it.
It's just pretty much his word over mine. That paint could have came from anywhere.
That was absolutely false. I have evidence that the people that hired him he got paint all over their cars as well.
He said it was 3 months ago, then he backtracked and he said it was only a week ago. I mean, come on.
What I saw them doing at first was sanding, and then
Right off the bat, she believes it.
a couple hours later, I then saw them spraying. I didn't think anything of it.
We had plastic all over wrapped around everywhere. He got knocked on his door and spoken to let know that they were going to be spraying. So
I'm thankful that my car's going to get fixed.
that was the reason we knocked. I mean,
It was brand new. I had just had it for about a month.
maybe he's just lazy, didn't want to move it. I don't know.
It was in pristine condition.
People need to get their own jobs, you know what I mean? Instead of suing people
Not pristine.
for the hard-earned money.
We're just
I'm
glad
glad
it's
it's
finally settled.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Grover versus Flink. Step forward.
Victoria and Norman Grove for vet bills after their Cocker Spaniel was injured on his property.
Mrs. Grover, what is your dog's name?
Rocky,
And how old is Rocky?
6 years old.
You were looking at some property, you and your husband. And the property was owned by Mr. Flink.
Yes, my family.
What kind of property is it, Mr. Flink?
It's an old single-family house with a detached garage.
On how much property?
The lot is 76 by 100.
Where is it located?
It's in Costa Mesa.
On what date did you go and look at the property?
June 24th
Of this year?
of this year, 2013, yes.
This is what your case is about. You went to look at the property. When you got to the property, the dog, Rocky?
Yes.
Rocky, who was leashed at the time.
Yes.
Someone took the leash off the dog. Who did that?
Bob Flink.
And you agree that you took the leash off the dog
Yes.
so the dog could run around?
I had brought my dogs there, too, since she had brought her dog.
What kind of dog did you have?
German Short-Hair Pointer that I got from the rescue about a year ago. And then I had my neighbor's dog, Henry, who was a Heinz 57 variety dog.
Okay. So the three dogs were sort of running around.
Yeah.
And had you looked at the house?
Yes.
Did you like the house?
Yes.
Now, the accident that involved Rocky took place in the garage.
Yes.
Would you like to tell me what happened?
Shall I start from when I just got there or from the incident?
No, start with you looked at the house, you liked the house, your dogs, and when you tell me the story, keep your voice up a little
Okay.
bit because I'm...
Okay. So we were outside looking at the yard, and then Bob had showed us the garage. And there's 2 garage doors. And, Your Honor, I had learned that that garage was not going to be part of the lease, that we were not able to use that. So Mr. Flink opened up the first garage door.
When you open up the garage door, is that an automatic door?
I don't believe so.
How do you open the garage door?
It's a garage door that swings open, so you have to grab a hold of the handle in the middle and swing it out towards you, and then push it out open.
So you bent down, opened up the garage door,
Yes.
And so we saw there was, I believe, recreational vehicles there. It was filled up. So then he went to the other garage door. As he was opening that up, Your Honor, my dog, Rocky, ran in the same time that an iron pole of...
Similar to this.
Similar to this.
Put similar down.
Okay. The iron pole had fell and crushed his tail as he ran in.
Where was the pole from, Mr. Flink?
It was leaning up on the inside of the garage.
So when the dog walked in, he...
started teetering over. It bounced off the wave runner that was in there and then continued on to the garage floor. I mean, making a scraping sound as it was going down and then the ringing when it hit the floor. And then Rocky was in that area. He ran underneath the jet ski trailer that was in there. And when he came out wagging his tail, it was
There was only a
bleeding.
piece of it left.
No, it was just bleeding.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What didn't you understand that I needed this additional explanation from you?
I just want to clear it up.
There's nothing that was unclear to me.
Okay.
Did I look confused to you?
No, you don't at all.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Victoria and Norman Grover say former friend Robert Flink is responsible for vet bills after their Cocker Spaniel's tail was crushed while the dog was on his property.
So when the dog walked in, he
Something
knocked it?
he knocked into it, and then the pole started teetering over. He ran underneath the jet ski trailer, and when he came out wagging his tail,
There was only a
bleeding.
piece of it left.
No, it was just bleeding.
Okay. So what did you do?
Got out 2 first aid kits, and Norm bandaged it up after Vicky had hosed him off. We sprayed it down
Hosed
with...
him off because he was bleeding?
Yes.
Okay.
And it just looked like a little cut in his tail. Couldn't tell what.
Piece of the tail. Vet bill was
$98.
$998 that you want Mr. Flink to be responsible for.
Yes.
That's what the case is. Is that simple?
May I
What did I miss?
Well, Mr. Flink said that he had ran into something to cause it to fall.
I don't care whether he ran into something or not.
Okay.
On the property, he took the leash off the dog.
Yes.
While you didn't protest that, he let the dog gain access to the garage. So, Mr. Flink, why do you not think that you're responsible for this vet bill?
Well, when I started to open up the garage, it was only a third of the way open when Rocky ran in. And then I had to change my hand position, open up the garage door the rest of the way, and the bar wasn't falling until the door was open and I could see what was going on. And it hit the wave runner, which I wouldn't have something propped up in there to hit the jet ski.
Just a second. Let us substitute a 2-year-old toddler for Rocky.
All right.
If a child was injured under the same circumstance on your property because there was a pole or something that was loose in an area, sufficiently loose so that the child was injured, why would you think you were not responsible?
Well, you wouldn't have a child crawl underneath the garage door as I was opening it up.
Right, but you might have a puppy.
Well, the other two dogs only.
Well, just a
Rocky
second.
here.
One of those was yours.
Yes.
Maybe yours is smart and knew about the loose pole.
It wasn't. It was propped up in the garage to where it was going to stay unless something happened to hit it.
It's your responsibility, sir, to see to it that your property is in order so that it's not going to hurt anybody or anything. Why would you open the garage door anyway?
They wanted to see if there was any storage room in the garage.
Well, let me hear. I'm just curious. What's that conversation? The garage was not being rented with the house.
Right.
So tell me about the conversation. Did you say to them, there really is no room for you to store your stuff in here? Let me show you. Is that why you opened the garage?
I opened the garage because they asked to see if there was any room in there for storage for bicycles or whatever.
And what did you say to them?
I said the garage was full.
So why did you open it?
As a courtesy to show them that there wasn't any room in there.
It's your property.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by Real Cases, Real People. Judge Judy. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
What did you say to them?
I said the garage was full.
So why did you open it?
As a courtesy to show them that there wasn't any room.
Oh, please.
Your Honor, by the way, that's not how it happened.
Well, I'd like to hear your version of how it happened.
So we saw the inside of the house. Fine. He brought
We're outside the house already. We're
outside
in
of the house, yes. And I said the garage is not included, correct? That's all I stated. I just wanted to confirm that. And that's when Bob went into action and he opened the garage door.
Explain that to me. I don't understand what you're saying.
I didn't ask to see the garage at all. We already understood that the garage was not a part of the rental.
Mr. Grover, what part of you won your case 5 minutes ago didn't you understand that I needed this additional explanation from you?
I just want to clear it up, that's all.
There's nothing that was unclear to me.
Okay.
Did I look confused to you?
No, you don't at all.
Judge, for the plaintiff in the amount of $988.11. Thank you.
I don't think
Parties
that's
are
right, Your Honor.
excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Mr. Simeone had your car towed. What you say is you parked legally.
But will a mystery witness put a dent in her story?
This is not going to be without pain.
Next Judge Judy.
I think I was banged into something into the garage, and that's what caused the bar to tip over.
He had said, sue me, and he hung up on me.
I got 2 first aid kits out of the garage, and Norm bandaged up the dog's tail after Vicky had hosed it off.
We sent him off with my wife to the vet as soon as possible.
The dog's tail was still bleeding.
They had to do surgery to find out if they could stitch it up or if it would to be amputated.
If something hadn't been done, it would have just kept bleeding.
With that type of an injury, he just would have bled to death.
This lawsuit is about the deal that you had with them.
For the termination of our lease.
The proof from tenants isn't black and white.
If it doesn't say it in that letter, then it's not in that letter.
It doesn't say that in the letter.
Okay.
And a landlord learns there's no gray area.
It has to be in written form, just like this letter.
Well, you got me there, Judge.
You snookered him.
This is Judge Judy. Jonathan and Sarah Santibanez are suing their former landlord, Dave Schaefer, for the return of rent and their security deposit.
Judges, case number 124. Parties have been sworn in. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Santibanez, you rented a house with your family of 8 people from the defendant since 2014, so a little over 6 years. And according to your statement, in the end of July of this year, Mr. Schaefer advised you that he wanted you out of the house by October the 1st, and at all times you have been current in your rent. I think that all the parties will agree with that. Yes. Correct, Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
What was the address of the house that you rented from Mr. Schaefer?
The address was 1750 in Oceanside.
Mr. Schaefer, when did you purchase 1750?
Probably about 2 years before that.
Before they rented it, so in approximately 2012.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for it?
I think it was $470,000.
Did you ever live there?
Well, I was working on it, yeah. I do my own work, so I lived there on and off for the full 2 years.
So you bought it as a fixer-upper, and you lived there while you made it ready to use as a rental property.
Yeah, well, we wanted
to sell it.
We wanted to sell it, but that didn't work out.
Well, after you fixed it up, you tried to sell it, and that was in 2012. Is that what you're telling me?
Okay, yeah.
Couldn't sell it, so you decided to rent it.
Yes.
And they paid...
I think at the beginning was a little less.
But now, the last year or two or more, it was $3,200 a month. What was it initially?
Initially, it was, wasn't it $3,000?
Initially, it was $2,850. And then it progressively went up.
Okay. But your rent when you left was $3,250.
Correct.
And you did, in fact, leave by October 1st.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
Do you still, Mr. Schaefer, own 1750?
Yes.
Is it currently on the market for sale?
Yes.
That is not an answer, Mr. Schaefer. Is it an escrow?
It's for sale.
Do you currently have it on the market for sale?
Yes, it is currently on the market
is yes.
for sale.
That is not true.
Oh.
There's no MLS.
Would you?
Okay.
I'm going to...
Thank you.
What is it on the market for sale? At what price?
We
Mr.
didn't
Schaefer?
have a price. The real estate agent is here with me as a witness, and we never settled on a price. We have to do a little work on it first, and then it'll probably be around $1 million.
Who is living in the house now?
Nobody's living in it now.
Okay. They moved out on October 1st. What work have you done in the house?
Well, since then, we tried to get the little stream running on the front. We've added a couple of closets in bedrooms so that they would actually be called bedrooms, because you have to have a closet in them to be calling a bedroom. In the main house, and we turned one of the little garage rooms below into another bedroom, and we had to make that...
So you've renovated the house in order to double what you paid for it.
That would double what we paid for it. Not what we had in it, but double what we paid for it, yes.
Double what you paid for it.
Yes.
And during the past 6 years or so, you've had a tenant who's faithfully paid you on average of $3,000 a month for the house. Now, this is what the situation is. You made a deal with the plaintiffs, Mr. Schaefer, and your deal with them was that if they left the house in good condition, not only would they get their security back, but if they cooperated with the realtor, who is your witness, you would return their September's rent, which was $3,250. When they moved out, you not only didn't give them their September's rent back, but you deducted money from their security deposit. So this lawsuit is about the deal that you had with them, that you would pay them sort of a bonus to get out by October 1st.
Exactly.
And this is during a COVID moratorium on evictions, you understand,
yes,
in the state of California. So you would give them a turn their security. Your answer suggests that, well, they did a little bit of damage. So you deducted $800 for their security, and they didn't fully cooperate with the realtor.
They didn't cooperate at all. And that's what he's here to go along with.
Great. So they didn't cooperate at all.
Not at all.
So those are basically the facts. Do I get that right, sir?
Yes, in a sense.
Well, what sense is wrong?
I do have the notice to terminate the lease, where it does say nothing about cooperating with a realtor, if you'd like to see it.
I would. The letter that he sent you or that you agreed to?
For the termination of our lease and to be out by October 1st.
Okay. I'm giving you a 60-day written non-renewal notice letting you know that I will not be renewing your month-to-month lease. I am giving you a required 60 days notice via this letter. However, in the interest of it, I will extend the 60 days to October 1st, which means that you can stay on property until October 1st, which should make a move easier for you and your family. Lastly, if the property is turned over on October 1st, which he realizes that you didn't have to do, in good and clean condition, I will refund your September's rent in addition to your deposit. Feel free to call me if you have any questions. Do you recognize? I'm checking it with the signature on your answer.
Yeah.
That's the letter that you sent to them.
I don't remember all of that.
Okay, point out any place in that letter where it says that he has to cooperate with your realtor.
If it doesn't say it in that letter, then it's not in that letter.
It doesn't say that in the letter, Mr. Schaefer.
Okay. Then it must have been in the conversation we had immediately after the letter. Immediately.
Let me explain a little bit about contract law to you, sir. You made him an offer in this letter. It's a written offer. He acted on this written offer by moving out on October 1st. So the contract is complete. The only way that you can modify this written contract is by a writing, not a conversation, not a telephone call, not a chat before, not a chat after. It has to be in written form, just like this letter.
Well, you got me there, Judge.
And quite frankly, of course, Mr. Schaefer, you know, you actually do understand that not only do you have this letter, but by your own statement, sir, it didn't matter whether he cooperated with your realtor or not, because you haven't put the house up on the market for sale. And the reason you didn't put the house up, work on it to make it more attractive. You added a bedroom, you made closets so that you could say it's a 6-bedroom house or a 5-bedroom house or a 8-bedroom house instead of what it was in order to comply with code. So you haven't even listed it for sale. So that if you said to me, well, I listed it for sale, and we discussed that given COVID, I would give him notice and I would keep the showing short, you haven't even listed it according to you. So how you actually dare to say that your defense is that he didn't cooperate with a broker when he's been out of the house for 2 months and you haven't even listed it yet? That's what you just told me a moment ago. So how was he supposed to cooperate with your broker?
He was supposed to cooperate.
Other than the fact that you snookered him. Yeah, go ahead.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What is this useless broker here? He has nothing else to do with his time than go and look at your property?
That's right. And he was supposed to allow the...
Then you have an idiot for a broker, and so are you.
Jonathan and Sarah Santibanez are accusing their former landlord, Dave Schaefer, of reneging on an agreement to return their rent and secure...
to you. So how you actually dare to say that your defense is that he didn't cooperate with a broker when he's been out of the house for 2 months and you haven't even listed it yet? That's what you just told me a moment ago. So how was he supposed to cooperate with your broker?
He was supposed to cooperate...
Other than the fact that you snookered him. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
He was supposed to cooperate, fully cooperate, and I remember talking...
What was he supposed to... No. Schaefer.
Yeah.
What act was he supposed to do to cooperate with your broker?
He was supposed to allow the broker to look at it whenever the broker wanted to. He was supposed to allow...
What? Just a second. Schaefer, for what?
So the broker would see it.
For what? To look at it because he had nothing else to do but look at your house? It wasn't listed for sale and hasn't been listed for 2 months. He moved out October 1st. All of October and all of November, you haven't listed it. What is this useless broker here? He has nothing else to do with his time than go and look at your property?
That's right. And he was supposed to allow the...
Then you have an idiot for a broker, and so are you. You own $4,050. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Okay.
We're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Well, I always heard she was going to tear me apart.
You know, we are good tenants. We paid our rent on time every month.
These very nice people did not cooperate with the broker in allowing him to go see it.
We were shocked when he would not refund what he said he would give us, which is his word in writing.
When he called quite often, 4 or 5 times, they didn't even answer his calls.
I mean, and especially during COVID-19 when you don't want people in your home.
He was supposed to let the brokers see it.
You don't want to be outside the home. You don't want to be showing the home.
They did not show them any cooperation, not only not full cooperation, not any cooperation.
I think it was a good ruling on Judge Judy's part.
All parties in the matter of Foley versus Mounier. Step to the podium, please.
21-year-old Emily Foley is suing her former friend and roommate, 24-year-old Amber Mounier, for failing to return her portion of a security deposit for an apartment they never moved into.
Miss Foley, you and the defendant were friends for a long time and recently decided to rent an apartment together. You located an apartment, and I was unclear, did both of you sign the lease or just the defendant?
Both of us.
And you were supposed to move into this apartment on...
September 5th was our move-in date.
Okay. In order to accommodate that, you gave the defendant $1,400, and you transferred that into her bank account.
This is the total that I gave her. The $300 and the $1,000 was towards the deposit on the apartment, and the $145 was $100 for a $200 holding fee and $45 for a credit check fee. And the $50 was a personal loan that...
Just a second. Okay. A credit check fee?
Yes, for the...
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. At some point, the apartment complex that you were leasing from notified you that the apartment would not be ready on the move-in date that you were given in the lease, and the apartment complex gave you the option of backing out of the lease.
Yes.
You decided that you wanted to back out of the lease.
Yes.
You no longer wanted to go forward with it. And what you are suing for is the return of the money that you sent to the defendant, because the defendant seems to acknowledge that she received that money back from the apartment complex. Am I correct?
I didn't receive everything back. I did receive a portion of it.
How much did you receive back that you can prove to me?
The only thing I didn't get back was the holding fee and both credit check fees.
And I would assume that you wouldn't have gotten the credit check fee.
Yeah. They told us we weren't going to get that back,
what was
and then
that,
we didn't get
40?
It was
right.
45.
In fact, returned to you most of the deposit that the plaintiff gave you.
Yes.
You said you would return to her only $400 of the deposit, and your reason was that you purchased things, I assume, for the apartment.
Yes.
In contemplation of moving into the apartment together. She was the one that didn't want to go forward with it if you had to wait 2 weeks, and you got stuck with stuff that you would not have otherwise purchased. Like what?
A kitchen table, and then I did the renter's insurance.
Just a second. Where is the kitchen table and chairs?
I had to end up getting a new one because that one was too big, and I had to move. I was already set to move.
No, look at me. You bought a kitchen table and chairs.
Yes.
Was it delivered?
No, I stopped the delivery.
You stopped the delivery?
Yes, I couldn't get my money back. They said I could either keep that one or get one that was smaller.
Prove it to me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You bought another one.
Yes, because that one was too big, and I was forced to keep that and keep buying stuff from them.
Okay, listen. I mean, I may be older than you are, but I know young people think they're smarter. I want you to give me a full sentence answer.
Real 21-year-old Emily Foley is suing her former friend and roommate, 24-year-old Amber Mounier, for failing to return her portion of a security deposit for an apartment they never moved into.
You bought a kitchen table and chairs.
Yes.
Was it delivered?
No, I stopped the delivery.
You stopped the delivery?
Yes, I couldn't get my money back. They said I could either keep that one or get one that was smaller.
Prove it to me.
It says on the very bottom how you can't get your money back.
I see what this is, and I see what you signed, $450 that you paid. Did you buy another one?
I paid $100 more.
Did you buy? The question is, did you buy another one? The answer is yes.
Yes, because that one was too big, and I was forced to keep that and keep buying stuff from them because I was going to lose out on all that money.
Okay, listen. I mean, I may be older than you are, but I know young people think they're smarter. I want you to give me a full sentence answer. The answer is you took this $450, you added another $100 to it, and you bought another table that you currently own.
Yes.
Isn't that simple? Look how I said that. Without convoluted, without anything. Did you move into another apartment?
Yes, I did.
And you now have a kitchen table and chairs, right?
Yes.
That cost you $550. What else did you buy?
The renter's insurance.
Renter's insurance?
Yeah, we have to have renter's insurance in order to move in, before we could even move in.
Fine. You ordered the renter's insurance, but before the renter's insurance went into effect, you canceled it because you never moved in.
No, we did not move in.
You never moved in. So if you never moved in, there shouldn't be any insurance. You were uncovered because you didn't own or rent the property. Are you telling me you had a loss with insurance that you're going to have to prove?
No, I didn't say that.
You didn't say what?
That I had a loss of insurance.
Well, you just told me. I said, well, what did you pay for that you didn't use?
I did pay for it.
You
and
said
it took
renter's
8 weeks
insurance.
to get the money back, Your Honor.
So who cares? I'm trying to figure out what you spent money on. So far, it's nothing. So she's entitled to her $1,400 back, or $1,300.
First of all, I got several text messages from her mother saying that it was $1,200. She posted on Facebook $1,500, and then it was $1,691.
I just want to know how much. You just showed me what you received from her.
This is what I received. I have my bank statements. Because when it transfers, it doesn't go directly. It, takes money out of it when you transfer it to your account from Cash App.
She showed me what she sent to you. Are you disputing the $1,000?
No.
Are you disputing the $300? What are you disputing?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
She showed me what she sent to you. Are you disputing what she sent to you?
Yes.
What specifically are you disputing? The $1,000?
No.
Are you disputing the $300? What are you disputing?
So, Your Honor, when it gets sent through Cash App, when it gets transferred to your bank account, it takes a portion of it out. So I didn't get that full amount.
What portion?
Your Honor?
What portion? Just what portion?
It ended up being...
Just what portion? If it was $1,000, how much did you receive?
$990.
$990.
Yes.
Okay, that's $10. Okay. And how much of the $300 did you receive?
It was $990, and then I received $297.
Did she return $400 to you?
She returned nothing to me, Your Honor. And if I may, Cash App takes a percentage out when you choose to instantly have it. It takes 2 to 3 business days, but it's a choice to, that percentage that they take out. You can choose to have them not instantly. It was not.
$1,350, judgment for the plaintiff. We're finished. Thank you very much. We're done.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
It was just so awful. I just couldn't take it anymore because he was cursing at me and yelling at me.
That, sir, is not a demonstration of someone who's in fear.
Judge Judy.
I believe it was the right decision. I put money towards an apartment. We didn't get the apartment. I got my money back.
I don't mind her decision. I don't owe her anything. I don't really care.
Honestly, I was glad that the apartment wasn't ready in time because her true colors came out before that.
This happened for a reason. We weren't meant to live with each other, and that's fine.
A lot of lies came out, and I was, having second thoughts already.
They offered us that we could even get a different apartment, that we could move in that day, and she didn't want to do that. She wanted that specific apartment.
When the opportunity presented itself, I took it. I did what was best for me and my child.
I will always love her son. That's my godson.
She's not actually the godmother to my child. She kind of just took on that role.
I don't deal with like this.
I'm ready for better things, and I wish her peace and happiness in life.
divorced parents relive their breakup.
Which, if any, of the children came with you?
The two youngest ones.
No, all the children stay with me. There's a truth-telling problem.
So living together again was a mistake.
She did move back into the house.
Yes, ma'am. It was a tumultuous relationship.
You have 4 children, and you have 2 young ones. They're the only victims of your irresponsible behavior and hers.
This is Judge Judy. Thomas Mercer is suing his ex-wife, Jennifer Mercer, for an unpaid loan to buy a car.
Judge's case number 79 on the calendar in the matter of Mercer versus Mercer. Parties have been sworn in.
Mr. Mercer, the defendant is your former wife, and you have children together. How many?
4.
How old are they?
23, 19, 11, and 8, Your Honor.
You were married in what year, sir?
We were married in 1999.
And divorced in what year?
We separated late 2012, divorced in 2016.
You separated in what year? I didn't hear that.
Late 2012.
And according to you, divorced in 2016.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember in what month you divorced in 2016?
I don't.
Do you remember, Ms. Mercer? What
do.
month in 2016?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, you do remember in what year in 2017?
I believe I wrote it down here. I believe the month of May is when we did.
Okay, Miss Mercer, were your 11 and 8-year-old children in school when you reconciled?
Yes.
Were they actually attending school, so it was in the winter, spring, as opposed to the summer?
I believe the summer,
you know,
yes.
When you say you reconciled, in the divorce, sir, listen to me, that's not your story, that's her story. In the divorce, who got the house?
Me, Your Honor.
You did?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And where did you move, Mrs. Mercer?
I moved into an apartment.
Which, if any, of the children came with you?
I took the 2 youngest ones. The 2 oldest wanted to stay.
No, all the children stay with me.
Just a second. Don't speak unless I'm asking you a question.
Sorry, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I took the youngest ones. They were only 1 and 3 at the time.
And the 2 older ones who were then in 2016, 15 and 18, they stayed with their father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did the judgment of divorce provide for custody, Ms. Mercer?
Yes.
Who had physical custody of the children?
Thomas was awarded physical custody.
Of all 4 children?
Yes.
Was that on consent, or was there a hearing?
We had a
trial. You mean during this 2012 to 2016 separation, there was a trial?
There was.
That took a long time?
Yes.
And during that time, where were the 2 youngest children? With you or with their father?
We were doing like a temporary order where the judge had time with me and then time with Thomas, with the kids, so it was a temporary order until it was final.
That took too long, for whatever reason.
Yes, it did.
I cannot imagine what reason. A trial involving young children takes 3 years. Ridiculous. All right. Now, at some point, you moved back into the house. That was in the summer of 2017?
Yes.
How long did you stay there?
A little over a year.
Until when?
Until I was told I couldn't return.
What month? What month?
It was in May.
So you were there for about a year?
Yes.
And, Mr. Mercer, this is your claim. Your claim is that in 2017 or 18, your former wife needed a car. You loaned her money for a car in which you took out a personal loan.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And in what month and year did you do that?
The loan was taken out in 2019. Your Honor, can I back up a little bit before that?
Just a second. Is what you're telling me, you're going to have to show me the loan page. Look at them and tell me what month and year you took out the loan. You say in June 2019, I loaned her $3,500 so she could repair her car. Within 2 months, it wasn't working, and she needed another $9,000.
Yes, ma'am.
It's more money than I
5-1.
had. So let me see it. Put it up on the evidence screen. The first loan that you say was June 2019. So in May 2019, which according to your former wife is the year after she moved out, because she did move back into the house.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was in 2017 to 2018.
No, Your Honor, she lived in the house until recently.
Until recently?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
want to make certain. So she moved into the house in 2017, and she moved out recently in 2020.
Yes, ma'am.
And during that time, she lived together with you and the 4 children.
Yes, ma'am. It was off and on again, Your Honor. She came to me in 2017 saying she needed somewhere to stay, so we weren't necessarily reconciling at that time. She needed somewhere to stay.
Mr. Mercer, if you think, Mr. Mercer, the 4 children and the 2 of you didn't resume cohabitating, do you know what I'm referring to?
Yes, living together.
This is a PG show. Yes. Yes.
Initially,
if you think that, I think.
We did, but not initially. She needed somewhere to stay. She was in a bad relationship, Your Honor, and she needed to leave that house. So she came and lived with me.
That's all right. At some point, it transitioned. Yeah, at some point, it transitioned.
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, it transitioned into back living as a family.
Yes, ma'am.
With your 4 children.
Yes, ma'am. It was on and off
she
again.
lived there until, Mr. Mercer. And, sir, at some point, you say in 2020, she moved out. She says it was 2019. You got to get your story straight, folks.
That's what
Do you understand?
It's off and on, Your Honor.
You got to get your story straight. Yeah, I understand that.
That's the problem.
And at one point, when it was on, you took out a loan. Now, she says one of the reasons you took out a big loan is because you made some repairs to the house with some of that money. I don't really care whether you made repairs to the house or whether she bought a car. You were living together as a family with your 4 children.
Your Honor, no, it wasn't. It was a tumultuous relationship, and I don't even... The whole premise of what she said, Your Honor, was that she never leave the house with the children problem. So we were off and on again quite frequently. Between that time of being there and back.
Listen, Mr. Mercer, the only thing that I'm concerned about is with your on-again, off-again tumultuous relationship with your wife, you have 4 children and you have 2 young ones. They're the only victims of your irresponsible behavior and hers.
I agree, Your Honor.
They're the only yo-yos. Sometimes they have a mother in the house. Sometimes they don't have a mother in the house. Judge did a long hearing. You got custody of the 4 children. She took the 2 little ones, she says, to live with her early on. Then she came back, and at some point you bought a car while she was living there. And Mr. Mercer, yeah, Mr. Mercer,
she had a car.
You're not getting any money from her. You're not getting any money from her.
I'm trying to tell you, initially she had a car that was having problems. I had loaned her $3,500 for that car to be repaired first. And then from there, she got another car. And I tried to convince her to buy something of a lesser value, but no, she had to have this car. And she needed to do it, had a rebuild title, Your Honor. So she couldn't take a traditional loan through a bank, and she had bad credit. So I took that loan. And she was going to take that car and take it to get it refinanced once it was in her possession. This is what it was supposed to be easier for her to do that. And then it would be in her name, her car, on her loan. So it was supposed to be a short thing, Your Honor. But her paying on it, she paid on it over a year. She has, right here, Your Honor, she paid out of her own account for over a year. And then once
Did she pay you any rent? Did you, just a second, stop talking a second. Did she pay you any rent when she was living there?
No, she was still paying child support, Your Honor. That's what I'm saying. This was off and on. It wasn't the happy family. There was a lot of issues. And I had the children all throughout, Your Honor.
Don't give your ex-wife any more money. She must have some serious problems. But that's not something that courts get involved with, sir.
Well, it shouldn't be my responsibility, Your Honor.
Yeah,
because
it is your responsibility. You took out the loan.
And
you took out the loan. You also were the one who had sex with her in your house with your 4 children, like you were all living together. This is not something that courts deal with. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
All this time.
Thank you. Case is over.
This case is completed. Parties are excused.
No, I think it's ridiculous.
I'm very thankful with the results that Judge Judy was able to see through my ex-husband.
I'm being the responsible one, so now once again I'm beating it.
It's a long, long battle I dealt with for many, many years.
Yeah, I was silly. I shouldn't have let her back in. But once again, I guess I'll pay for that.
He's upset that the relationship ended.
No more loans.
Probably never get married again.
All parties in the matter of Sarkisian versus Zamora. Step to the podium, please.
Artin Sarkisian is suing his former tenant and attorney fees.
Mr. Sarkisian, this is your tenant, was your tenant. You purchased a building, according to your complaint, in 2017. It was a 4-unit building, and the defendant had been a tenant there when you purchased the building. Subsequent to your purchasing the building, you created new leases with your tenants, including the defendant. So far, am I accurate?
That is accurate.
Do you have a copy of the lease that you created with Ms. Zamora?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
So here's page 1.
Okay. And who are listed as occupants of that apartment?
The occupants are David, Theodore, Andrew, Angelica, Isaiah, and Jaden.
Okay. And that's the lease that you created. And at least one of those people who were listed as the premises will also be used by the following people. Is one of those people the brother that you have an issue with now?
Correct.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have a newborn baby, and the house is horrible.
Listen to me. If you don't like something, you move.
Right,
so
that's
you
why I
decided
did.
to move, but you ate the steak. You lived there for 9 days.
Artin Sarkissian says former tenant Adela Zamora moved out owing for rent. Adela is countersuing for poor living conditions and harassment.
Okay, so now this is what the case is about. Several years later, in October or perhaps before October, when you were on a month-to-month basis with the defendant, she gave you notice that she was going to be moving out on October the 9th. She paid her September's rent. She moved out on October 9th. Part of your lawsuit is for the 9 days that she lived there that she did not pay rent, which my rudimentary math translates into $558 if you're successful. Ms. Zamora, did you in fact live in the apartment for 9 days in October?
I did, yes.
Did you pay him for the 9 days in October?
I did not, but my rent was due on the 10th every month.
Well, I don't care when it was due. It was beginning October 1st, so it may have been your last day to pay, October 10th.
Yes.
So you owe him the $558
I believe I don't
for the
owe
9
him
days
it
that you...
because of the situation that the house is in. I have a newborn baby, and the house is horrible. I don't...
Listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me. If you don't like something, you move. You lived there for 9 days.
Yes, because I
Just
believed
like
he
you
would
lived
fix
there in
the
month of
situation.
Listen, you lived there for years. You lived
Yes.
there in 17, 18, 19,
Right.
20. You owe him $558 for the 9 days you stayed there. This is the second part of your lawsuit, which is going to be dismissed. I'm telling you now, because you're not suing her for $558. You're suing her for $5,000 because you say she allowed her brother, who I assume is that person sitting next to you.
Yes.
Is that right, Ms. Zamora?
Yes.
She allowed him into the apartment, and he subsequently became a squatter. And he hasn't paid you rent. You had to get a lawyer involved to try to get him out. You couldn't get him out now. He's still living there, I assume. Is that right?
Yes, he is.
He's still living there. You can't get him out because of the COVID moratorium. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you want to put her on the line for that because she let him move in. No, you let him move in, sir,
Well,
because you put him on your lease.
But yes, Your Honor, I have text messages proving that they did move out in April of this year, and then Ms. Zamora had kicked them out because
That was my other brother, actually.
they wouldn't pay rent.
Don't interrupt him.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't pay rent.
It
so
doesn't matter to me. He was on the original lease. You
signee
can't
of-
sue her.
But she's the
there.
signee of the lease. She's the one responsible. In the lease, it clearly states when you terminate the lease.
Just
Good.
she terminated the lease for her.
Correct.
She owes you $558. You think that you have a cause of action against her brother? Use it.
Well, in the
Use it against her brother. She's not paying you anything other than the $558
But on
that
the
she
lease,
owes you for 9 days.
On the lease, under Section 19, upon vacating, you're supposed to take all persons and personal property with you.
Carefully listen to me. She's paying you $558. They were month to month after the 2017. Was that renewed every year?
No, it was not.
In writing?
It was just continued as month.
$558. That's your judgment. Now, just for my own information, Ms. Zamora.
Yes.
How does your brother get money for food?
So right now he gets
That brother.
He gets food stamps. So CalFresh.
And how does he get money for clothes?
He was working, but since the pandemic, they cut his hours at work. So he was working.
Who was he working? Just a second. Who was he working for, Ms. Zamora?
He was working for Wingstop as a customer service representative.
For who?
Wingstop, fast food restaurant.
Is he working in
the store?
And when you say they cut his hours, from what to what?
So he was getting 40 hours. They cut him maybe to like 20 to 25 a week.
And he's paid by check?
He's paid by check, yes. Bi-weekly.
Does he have any other dependents?
He does. He has his son and his wife.
Where is his wife?
His wife is at the residence that we're here about.
And what does his wife do for a living?
She does not work.
Why?
Right now, because she has to take care of a 3-year-old kid and she's pregnant.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This is a terrible, terrible time. And the government really wanted to protect people who had lost their jobs. But if you're working, you would at least make some effort to pay something towards your rent.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Artin Sarkissian says former tenant Adela Zamora moved out owing for rent. Adela is countersuing for poor living conditions and harassment.
All right, Mr. Sarkissian.
Yes.
Looks to me you're going to have to wait until there's a vaccine or until they lift that moratorium.
Correct.
You now know who he works for, and you know that he gets paid by check bi-weekly. Do you understand?
Well, according to them, he does not work. So now she's...
And we can get proof of that.
Well, that's a year and a half. That's not years. He works there. She says he works there.
Okay. So I will file a lawsuit against him next.
File a lawsuit against him. I mean, the moratorium against eviction for non-payment of rent is really for people who lost their jobs during the pandemic or who were suffering financially during the pandemic. And it's going to have to be up to your brother to, at some point, address why he was working, and he's still working, and he's living his life. He has a wife. He has a child. He thought he had sufficient financial resources to make another child, but he doesn't pay his rent. You think that that's fair?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now, it's going to have to be up to your brother. He has a wife. He has a child. He thought he had sufficient financial resources to make another child, but he doesn't pay his rent. You think that that's fair?
I don't think that
you
it's
think that
fair.
That's fair?
No.
It's not fair. And the government really wanted to protect people who had lost their jobs from having a whole swath of the country homeless.
Right.
But if you're working, you at least make, even if they reduce your hours, you at least make some effort to pay something towards your rent and say, listen, I'm going to give you more as soon as my hours are back up. But right now they cut my hours to whatever it is, so I'm going to pay you half the rent. I'm going to pay you a quarter of the rent. But to say, I mean, is your brother an unintelligent man?
He's not. They have like a lot of finances like that.
Just a second. So he moved in. He lives there with his wife, a 3-year-old, and bringing another baby into that apartment. Is that right?
Yes.
And your counterclaim is that the apartment was in terrible condition.
It's in very terrible condition.
And you want to be compensated for that. Well, that's dismissed. $558. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much. We're done.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
We got into a disagreement and an argument over my boyfriend, the fact that they didn't like him and they didn't want him over anymore.
Did he ever do in your apartment anything unlawful?
Judge Judy. Be having to go after the brother next.
The police got involved because he was saying that they were trespassing, which was very incorrect.
So I went there with my contractor to change the locks, and they wouldn't get out. So when the police came, they said this is a eviction case.
He was not trespassing. He was on the lease since 2017.
She would